Good morning. It is still morning. Um, I'm doing, trying to finish up on this. I'm gonna call it a penguin. Peacock. Let's see. How can I put this so I'm not going in front of the camera? So, just wanted to bring you down closer to view so you can see me putting things in place. See one to do. I started it late last night. Started it like after maybe one. I probably would have finished it last night, but by 3 o'clock in the morning, my eyes were starting to get a little punchy on me. And that was definitely a sign of the times to for the evenings. But to insomnia. Insomnia is like stress related because it started when my husband went away. I do need to do better about trying to get good night's sleep. And then also, I paralyzed foot. And I don't know if I really talked about that too much on this platform, but on my TikTok, I talk about it all the time. Um, I we're in 2026, so almost 40 years ago, I was in a near fatal car accident. I got a comminuted fracture of my right femur. And if you're not a medical person, your right femur is your thigh bone. And a comminuted fracture means that I broke it in puzzle pieces, not in just a clean break. Lost control of my car for 71 feet. I stopped when I hit a tree head on. Totaled my car, almost totaled my life. Um, and considering that I hadn't yet met first husband and father of my children, totaled my life, well, I would have been what she wrote, or Jessica. But thankfully, that didn't happen. But I did have I spent a month in the hospital. Things happened when I was in the hospital. I was in traction. I coded blue, which means I stopped breathing. I was in Danville, Kentucky. I was at the Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center in Danville, Kentucky. I believe that's their only hospital, or at least it was 40 years ago. Who knows what they have now? Mm, Reason. I used the jaws of life to get me out of my car. Mother told me that she didn't know that I was alive in the hospital when my parents went to go see my car at the junkyard where it had been towed to. She would have assumed that the person had perished in the car accident. It was that bad. So, anyway, I was in the hospital for 31 days. I um, I coded blue, which means I stopped breathing. And because I was 4 hours away from where I lived in the Dayton, Ohio area, I was down by Lexington, Kentucky, and they're not exactly neighbors. My mother had, would use vacation and sick time to make periodic visits, you know, to where I was to see me. My dad came a couple times, but not as much as she did. Then, of course, when I got released, everybody came to pick me out. They put me in the station wagon. I had to be laying down because the way I had my break, I couldn't. I was on crutches, but I couldn't, have cast or anything. Anyway, one of her visits to see me, by this time I was in ICU. And late one night, she decided to go down to the cafeteria to get her something to eat. People in the cafeteria was my mom. And then there was a table full of people wearing scrubs. And then all of a sudden she hears cold blue in ICU, cold blue in ICU. And all the people in scrubs got up immediately and ran out there. Said, I wonder if that's for Jessica. No, can't be. So she proceeded to finish eating her food. And then when she made her way back up to the ICU room where I was, lo and behold, there were all the people that she had just seen in the cafeteria at that table in the room where her daughter was, working on me. I had been the one who had coded blue. You know, fluid on my lungs, had to get my lungs drained. So I've got a scar up under my right breast from where they had to put a tube in to drain the fluid off my lung. It was a hot mess. I was a hot mess. So that they were all working on me. When I say working on me, like in the hospital shows when they're like, clear! Yeah, that was me. They ended up having to give my mother a sedative. she was, she kind of lost it. Well, understandably so. I mean, if I had gone down to the cafeteria and came back and one of my kids who was in ICU already, and then they're, using those little electrical pads to kind of jolt her back to life, they probably would have had to sedate my butt too. Can't say I blame her on that one. Honestly, I recovered. I'm here all those years later, and to postpone going away to Central State University for God, for Central, for State. It's a little mantra that we Centralians always say after we mention our school. It's like, mm, so 2 years ago, I needed to have and still need to have my right knee replaced. I've already had my left knee replaced after I lost a lot of weight from my gastric bypass surgery, but I still need to have my right knee replaced. But they had to remove the rod from the femur first. Here lies the problem. The surgery to remove the rod. So rod is gone. Bye bye rod. But surgery. She said, "Okay, Jessica, wiggle your toes." And my toes were like, "Hey, how you doing? We can wiggle." My what's that you said? I don't understand that language. We don't know how to do this wiggling thing that you speak of. No, 2 years later, still no wiggles. So, January 2024 to June of 2025, I was homebound and dependent on other people in my life to get me around. More specifically, my husband, because he's the one I live with. Granted, my son does live with us now, but he just moved in a month ago. And, before then, it was basically just me and my husband. So, and my husband is 25 years older than me. Mine would be different. S- What I mean by that is I thought I was going to be the one to take care of him. Way turning things upside down when you think that they're resetting. It's became paralyzed. And what to make matters worse or to add insult to injury, tried to hire 11 different attorneys. Each one of them said, well, we can prove the disability, but we can't prove malpractice. Yeah. So that means they can't prove it. I can't get awarded because of it. Scarred with no financial compensation for the doctor who permanently scarred me. And on top of that, he moved to West Virginia in May of 2024 so he could take care of his ailing parents. Well, I'm almost done with the green on this peacock. And then I will show it to you. Tell me what you think. Be there. It's supposed to be here. Almost done with the green. Then I'll just have the yellow to do. And, I think by the time I finish the green, then our whip and chat can come to an end. I didn't want to stay on here the whole time I'm doing this, but I did want to get on here and talk a little bit to you, give you some words of encouragement, and let you know that I know you are doing a great job. Uh, the way is wrong with my jaw, because I noticed that lately, whenever I yawn, I feel like I'm dislocating it or something. When I start getting tired, I start talking to myself. Come on, push through, push through. And do this. I like my refillable pens, though. They're very helpful to me in this process. Help keep the wax nice and moist. And then, one piece of little rolled up piece of wax goes a long, 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 long way. I can tell you the time when I put some wax inside this pen wax. It's been, I think I'm gonna check it right now, just to see. Here's the chamber. Oh, sorry, I forgot where my camera was. Here's the chamber, and now I'm gonna untwist it. I don't have a lot of hand strength. Let's see, maybe this. Actually used it all. Okay, so this is a great opportunity to show you how I do this. Okay, so what you do is you twist it. And see, I was just talking about how infrequently I have to fill it up. Now it's time to fill it in. So you just unscrew it so you got a lot of space in there. Okay. Do I have any wax over here? Wax over here, wax over here. Nope. Okay, that's collector. I'm a wax collector. Because whenever I get a new kit, and obviously I've been getting a lot of kits, um, you get, your basic tray, um, disposable pen, and you get your blue cube, right? Well, I just keep them all. Now, the ones that actually came with this, uh, they're just rolled in. But when you're finished using the roll-up ones, you can just roll up the regular. Take one of these, got the hiccups. You just put it right down in the chamber. Now, you may need some tweezers. Let me show you. You see it's in there? Hold on a second. It's in there. But you need to just push it down some. Okay, so now can you see it? There you go. Now it's full. And then what do we have in this top part? We have it? Yeah, we still got a little bit, still got some in the top part. But we just didn't have any in the bottom. So now we're gonna push it back up. the uh, key in the chamber, and then heat this back up, and then when you need it, you just twist the bottom until you start seeing some come out the top. Right? It a little dark pinkness. So I'll leave this in there, then put this back over. Right. 1, row 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna Count Dracula on Sesame Street. I used to love Sesame Street. What was one of your favorite Saturday morning programs? Excuse me. How do you guys feel about being invited to a birthday party? Now, granted, it's for an older, a seasoned old lady have been acquainted with. Your daughter is throwing her the birthday party. And I asked her, like, okay, what does your mom like? As far as presents. And she was like, money. I was like, oh, okay. It's a little odd to be asking someone for money to a birthday party for someone in the 80s or 90s. I mean, I don't know. It just seems, it took me a little aback when she said it. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting her to say, "Oh yeah, my mom likes money." I mean, I like money too, but I would never ask for money as a birthday present. I would tell people, some of the things that I like. If they decide to give me a check or whatever, that's on them. But I don't know about asking for it. It just seems a little suspect to me. But again, I'm just one person. I was thinking about maybe doing like a diamond painting of a woman and giving it to her, like in a pretty frame, you know, something that I made with my own two hands. Or like if her daughter told me, well, my mother really likes flowers and sunshine, then I would find like maybe a diamond painting that was some that had flowers and sunshines in it, and then I would do it for her because I don't think the birthday is until like April, the birthday party, because you had to RSVP by the end of March, and, which would give me plenty of time, and plenty of canvases, so I could definitely look, and I've already bought, so I could definitely look, and that's given a little sweat equity. So I don't know. Told Because see, the daughter is in my sorority, and so I said, well, if it was, something, if it was your party, then I would just get you some merch, some sorority stuff, because sorority girls, me included, if you want to get me something, you give me something blue and gold, and especially if you go that extra mile and give me something that says Sigma Gamma Rho on it, chef's kiss to you. But I would never say, yeah, give me the cash. That just feels some kind of way about it. The late's gonna be 95. Maybe I should give it 95 cents. $1 for every year. I know what I could do. Some diamond painting cards. I could do a diamond painting card and then put some money in the card. That way I'm doing something from my heart, but I'm also doing something that the daughter says something to her mom. But if it was me, I mean, Lord, I wish my parents had lived into their 90s, but they didn't. But if it was me, I mean, I would be like, well, my mother likes such and such a perfume. You know, she likes things that are animal print. Because my mother was crazy about like leopard print and animal print and stuff like that. Me, I like things that bling. You know, diamond painting, go figure, But I don't know. It just felt a little weird. And I have met her a few times, in different events and what. So she's a really nice lady, and that's why when I got the invitation, I was like, yeah, I want to come. Sure, why not? I mean, the lady's gonna be 95 years old. If for no other reason, she has lived 95 years. She getting close to 100 out there. You know what I'm saying? And I had that one of my great aunts. She passed away a couple of years ago, but she was almost 98. She was, I mean, you don't say and a half when you get in your 90s, but she was 97 and a half because her birthday's in December, like my birthday is. My Fidelma, her birthday was December 18th, and my birthday is December 9th. But you know, uh, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up on my own, but I will like put it in a video or something, do a little short video or something and show y'all what it looks like when it's finished, and I have it on the chain and all that business. Okay, but I've enjoyed this whip and chat. We've talked about birthday presents. Now, what do you call someone who is in their 90s? I know an octogenarian is for somebody in their 80s, because that's my husband. What are you, a 90genarian? I gotta look that up. In fact, let's see if Googie to my husband called Google. A boogie knows. Before we get off of here, do you recall someone who was in their 90s?
Someone in their 90s is called a nonagenarian, which comes from Latin. Other terms include octogenarian for those in their 80s and centenarian for those who are 100 years old or more.
Okay, a nonagenarian. Okay, a bad self. Nonagenarian. Like I said, my husband was in his 80s. And I know a centenarian, that's if you made it to 100. But she almost there. Lord willing, she'll make it. 5 more years, you know? So, but the person in their 60s, a sextagenarian. Well, that'll be me next year. Somebody in their 50s, I don't know. You just 50. That's what you are. If you're in your 50s, you just 50. I'm thinking, let's see if Googie knows. Is there a name for someone in their 50s? Quin Quintagenarian. So I'm a quintagenarian. Hey, with my quintagenarian self. Anyway, so we've talked about Peacock, my accident, me coding blue, going to a birthday for a nonagenarian, and the fact that I'm a quintagenarian. I'm married to an octogenarian. So I guess that's it for now. This has been fun. Now, be good to yourself, be good to each other, pay it forward if you can. Why? Because paying it forward is great. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.